Good. Okay. All right. We're live here with Matt Miller with now is with Rotoballers. He does the live preview with Rotoballers, but he's also here to preview the PGA Tour with us today. Matt, thanks for coming on, joining us, filling in for longtime host, obviously, Matt Vincenzi. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, good. How about you? I appreciate you having me on. It's got some big shoes to fill over here.
Oh yeah. Been a long time, Matt. One of the good guys there that won't shit on Liv, just because we're supposed to. Talk to him mostly every week about mostly every Liv week about what we're going to do with the Liv card. His previews are great on Rotoballers. So I've enjoyed interacting with you over the last year or so.
Yeah, no, me as well, and it's good to kind of finally get on and record together.
So, all right, let's get right into it. Travelers recap. Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley comes from behind to take Tommy's longtime PGA Tour win away. What did you make of did Keegan win it? Did Tommy choke it? A little bit of both. What'd you think?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's tough to say Tommy didn't choke it a little bit. All he really had to do was just shoot even, and he would have got it done. It just feels like that guy's cursed. He just couldn't really get anything to go. I mean, Keegan had some, he made some long ones. He obviously hit a great shot on 18. Got to give him credit, but definitely feels like Tommy let one slip away here.
Oh, man, that was just sad and pathetic, man. I don't know what to do. He's now put so much pressure on himself. That was the worst one he's had yet. That was way worse than the Canadian Open.
Yeah, I actually thought, because he started off like bad, and I thought, here we go. And then he made like the 15-footer for birdie on like 11, I think it was.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, he might be doing it. Like he kind of looked like he settled in a little bit, but
then he was one roll short on 12.
Yeah.
13, he made a nice birdie, and then 14, after Keegan and Henley both went in that bunker, and Keegan got screwed with the lie. Keegan made bogey, and he had a 6-foot birdie, and that was just a bad putt.
Yeah.
But I still didn't think Keegan had to make those bombs. He was making bombs all day.
Yeah, he had a few of them. It was just, and he was getting fired up. He almost had the other one that kind of lipped out too.
The one right before Tommy's. Tommy's was one roll short. But he made the bomb on 15, and then of course Tommy doesn't get 15 at all. 16, Tommy, terrible club selection, makes bogey, couldn't get up and down from over the green, I was kind of surprised by that because they didn't have any issue getting up and down from the same spot.
Yeah.
Then 17, I was like, oh, man, Tommy's kind of gagging this after 16. 17, he's in that bunker. And after he hit that bunker shot to like 20 feet, I was like pretty confident he was going to win. I was like, okay, you settled down. And 18 pipes a drive, fucking perfect drive. And then you can't make bogey from 18 fairway. The only way you can make bogey at the Travelers on 18 is if you hit it in the rough. Like that's now a birdie hole on 18.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be worst case, like playoff. And then,
give credit to Keegan. He stuck his shot. That was an unbelievable scene. And that was a great shot by Keegan. But you got to make par there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't. That guy. He's just. It feels like he's never going to get one across the finish line.
So that's my next question. Do you think is he ever going to win in America?
He's had so many chances where it's like, how did he not win that? I don't know. I mean, he's around so much. It feels like something eventually has to go his way. I actually think like if he's going to win, it's sort of going to be like he comes from behind and sort of posts something, and then a couple other guys fall back. I don't know. It's just something about him when he has a lead or he's in, right there and he has to make the big putts. It just seems like he never gets it done.
I mean, you got to get that putt inside of Keegan's ball. You can't give Keegan the read.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's just a loser. I love the guy. I mean, I bet him at the U.S. Open. I was like, is this guy really gonna fucking do it? And then after day bogeyed 17, I was like, all right, let's go, Tommy. Get this over the line. I want to be done with this. Now we're in a situation where it's like Rory winning a major type deal.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. I don't know. It's been going on for so long. It's hard to say, but he's in the mix so much, Tommy, that it feels like he's eventually going to win one of these. But I don't know. Every time he has a chance, it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And it's crazy. They're giving us 25-1 at the Open, which is bananas. Not that I'm trying to bet it, but it's just that was a choke job. That was a choke job. As much as Keegan win it, I think it was just a choke job. But let's get into Keegan. Me and Matt always make the joke like New England's finest Keegan Bradley, Boston's finest Keegan Bradley. I am not a Keegan guy, even from being from Boston. I actually despise Keegan. Him drilling those putts just pissed me off all weekend. But I mean, I guess people at the Travelers love him. I mean, that was a scene yesterday on 18. And now I was thinking Europe at the Ryder Cup, but I don't know. After that scene, I'm kind of feeling the U.S. now.
Do you think he's going to put himself on the team?
He has to. Yeah, he has to. I think he's going to make it. I think he's going to make it, to be honest with you. But I think he's one of the 10 best golfers.
Yeah, he should. I think he's definitely deserving of being on the team. I mean, if it was any other captain, he'd be.
I think what pisses me off most about Keegan is I don't think he should be a captain of the Ryder Cup team. But I'm kind of coming around to understanding what they're trying to ignite the crowd, and I just think he should be on the team. He's one of the 10 best golfers they have. I know there's 12 spots, but he's one of the 10 best.
Yeah, he's definitely deserving of being on the team. I guess the only question is people are like hesitant of the playing captain. I don't know where you stand on that.
I mean, once you get there, I mean, is it really that much you got to do? Feel like all the stuff you got to do is pre-Ryder Cup.
Yeah, you would think. I guess guys watch the groups and kind of get a feel for it, but I don't know how much is really involved in any of that. I think he would definitely bring, I mean, love him or hate him, some energy to the team because looking at the roster right now, it's a little bit bland.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at locks. You got Scotty, X, Spawn, Bryson, Henley, JT, Morikawa, and I'm going to call Cantley a lock. So that's 8 locks.
On the same page.
Those 8 are locks. I mean, Spawn's a lock now.
Yeah.
And then I think Keegan and Griffin are very close.
I think so too, and I don't like him, but I think that Burns is probably going to make it.
Seems like so. So if you count Keegan and Griffin in, that's 10. Yeah. You got 2 spots, and I wrote a couple guys down. I'm pretty positive Burns is going to get there the way he's playing.
Yeah, I think
Burns,
his putting numbers too.
Huh?
I think with his putting numbers too, in like the match play, they're gonna. I don't really trust him in like the big putts as we saw in Canada, but I think that with the putting stats he has, he's going to be on the team.
Yeah. So you got Burns, English, Cam Young, Berger, Finau makes a run. Spieth, I guess. I don't know. And then you got the 2 live guys, Reed and Brooks, who I would love to take both of those guys, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Unless Brooks performs again at Portrush, which I am pretty high on.
Yeah, I think he opened the door for himself a little bit at the U.S. Open because, I mean, he had one good round, but he played pretty solid overall. It was kind of the first time we saw any life out of him this year. Yeah. If he puts up a good performance at the Open, I think.
So who would you take with those last 2 spots, Burns and?
Yeah,
who's your team?
I think Burns is going to make it. I don't love him, but I think he'll be on the team. I would take Brooks as the final spot. Probably like a month ago, I would have had Berger on there, but I think he's played himself off, to be honest.
Yeah.
He hasn't been very good. He started off the year well. I don't know if the injuries coming back.
That was weird. He was playing great, and then it's like snap of your finger, and he's like back to being dead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought earlier in the year it looked like he was kind of back, and then the last month or so, he's been pretty bad. So I think he's kind of going to be off the team at this point unless he does something crazy.
This guy asked, why is Cantlay a lock? Cantlay's a lock because he was the only one with big balls in the last Ryder Cup, and he's Xander's butt buddy.
Him and Xander will
And
play
they
together.
have a pretty incredible foursome record together. I mean, I think they've lost maybe once.
Yeah, I think he'll be on the team.
Yeah. So I don't see how Cantlay doesn't, as much as he doesn't make putts in regular events, but like he's gonna make putts in those Ryder Cups. He always does. Every Ryder Cup, he always making putts.
Yeah.
So lock in Cam Young after he wins the Rocket. I mean, I'm all here for that.
He's right there. Yeah. I mean, he's on the short list, I think, right now for like one of those final spots.
Yep, agree. So other than anything else on Keegan's win?
No, I mean, obviously he, kind of the hometown win, if you will. Northeast.
I didn't think he was the best golfer yesterday.
What's that?
I didn't think he was the best golfer. Tee to green wise, I didn't think he was the best golfer yesterday.
No, he hit like we kind of talked about. He made a few bombs, and then it kind of fired him up in the crowd and everything like that. But it felt like he had a few big moments, and obviously he hit the great shot on 18. But he didn't do like a ton. I mean, he only shot 2 under on the round.
I don't even know if he shot that. Did he? Yeah, 2 under. Man. Okay, so that leads me into Jason Day, who I took at 90-1. I can't believe he only shot 2 under. This thing was wide open for Jay Day to steal this. All he needs to do is handle the par 5s and handle 15.
Yeah, he was.
I mean,
we talked about it right before we kind of hopped on live. He had, I thought the par save that he had on, I guess it was 7, was going to be sort of like that momentum for him where he got the big putt to drop, and I thought, he can get hot with the putter. I thought that was going to kind of turn the round around, and he sort of just didn't birdie the holes that were birdie holes.
I know. I mean, that was one of the better bets we've made. We didn't even talk about it much on the show last week, but I was staring at a 90 on like Wednesday, and I was like, man, Jason Day, Pete Dye, he's got a couple good finishes here. He showed a little bit of life at the U.S. Open. The 90-1 was a great number. So I wrote it, and I couldn't ask for anything more on 90-1, but I really thought he was going to steal it on that back 9 yesterday. And then also I bet Justin Thomas. I mean, just don't make a quad on Saturday on the easiest hole in the course, and you're right there.
That was crazy.
So, I mean, what the fuck?
That was nuts.
Yeah, JT, I mean that's the tournament for him. Comes back good Sunday, obviously. He also had Spieth on the card. He withdrew with back injury. I mean, what are you going to do there? Not that he was playing well before the withdrawal, but and then I also bet Vic. And I don't know if you saw any of Vic's approach numbers, and this is kind of leading me into Portrush, but through 3 rounds, he gained 8.2 on approach. I think on Friday's round, he lost like 4.5 putting just in that round. The other 2 rounds, he shot like 4 and 7 under. But like that Friday round, he was 4 over, I think. Just abysmal putting. I know Friday was a tough day in general, but I know he withdrew with a neck injury, but I'm really looking forward to Vic at Portrush.
Yeah, I think you bet him at Portrush, didn't you?
Oh, I bet him last October.
I have I have him as well. I don't know what the hell just happened to my camera here, but I took him as well. I think I have a 33 on him.
So give me all the Vic. I'm looking forward to Vic riding Rahm and Vic at Portrush. Those approach numbers, I mean, just piggybacking off the U.S. Open approach numbers. I love what I'm seeing out of Vic.
I was actually scared that he was going to win the U.S. Open because I didn't have him there, and then I'm like, I'm going to be completely cooked for that Open Championship ticket if he wins this.
Yeah.
Are you concerned at all about the injury, or you think he'll be fine?
I don't know. have you seen anything since?
He said he heard like a crack, which doesn't sound great, but I don't know.
Crack in his neck?
He said he heard a crack, but I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it's not that serious. He's playing so well.
He playing the Scottish? I'm assuming.
I think.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't sound good. That's definitely concerning. But I mean, I bet it last October. Nothing I could do. It's not like I bet an 80 to 1. This is one of those bad futures that you bet that it's probably going to be. Well, maybe it won't be after the performance at the U.S. Open, but recent majors he's been up to 60 to 1. So
yeah.
Last thing before we move on to Rocket, what's your take on the Travelers tournament in general?
I like it. I mean, I feel like we get like a pretty good event every year.
It always delivers.
Another exciting finish this year.
Every year it's exciting. Every year.
Yeah, we got a good. I mean, I think you mentioned it. Friday was tough.
Friday kept the scores
which kind of helped the scoring.
Yep.
Come down. I mean, the winning score is like a pretty fun. Minus 15. That's like a pretty good number for a tournament. Probably would have been higher if we didn't have that weather on Friday, but it's another good year. I mean, they always seem to deliver a good finish.
Do you like the course for these guys?
Yeah, I think it's like a fair course. I mean, I don't know. It seems like should be easier, but then we watched, our guys down the stretch on Sunday not make birdie on any of the birdie holes. So obviously there's some challenges out there for the guys.
Yeah.
I think it's good to be, they have a spot in the Northeast.
Yeah, being from the Northeast, I feel like they can go to better venues, but it is what it is. I mean, it always brings a drama. So, I mean, you can't really complain about it. If it wasn't for the weather, though, I think these guys minus 24, I mean, they're just going to keep breaking. I mean, it's just so short. It's only 6,800 yards. They're just going to keep breaking records there.
Yeah, well, after Thursday, I was a little worried that Scotty was just going to.
Yeah, so let's get to Scotty, man. Is there anything better than seeing him struggle?
It's fun. Yeah.
That Saturday, first hole, that was like porn to me.
Yeah, that was – I enjoy it. I'm on the same page as you. I mean – it's just, it doesn't help that the announcers are constantly like, sucking them off the whole time. And
yeah,
I enjoy watching him struggle.
But it was pretty funny. He's teeing off on 17 Friday. He's minus 11. And the winning score is minus 15. Like, is there any way that Scotty doesn't get to 15 on a normal event?
Yeah, it is funny. I mean, I didn't really think of it that way. He had Saturday – he was like +4 on the front, kind of a crazy round. He played pretty well on Sunday too, but he was already out of it.
I was ready to go. I had JT. He birdies won. Scotty triples. I'm like, okay, and then boom, we get to the back. We get to the easiest hole in the course, and guys on the train tracks.
Yeah, and then he got lucky because he stayed out of the water, but then he chipped it right back down on the same spot.
So, Scheffler struggling. I was really worried about him last week. That's why I didn't go too heavy on any of the top guys. I am kind of interested in Rory. I do think he's going to be live at Portrush.
Yeah, I mean, he played better this week. I think there was, he had a little lull after the Masters, which is normal. I mean, it's kind of like every time someone wins the Masters, it's kind of, they have that like down period. People were kind of just assuming that he was going to start winning everything, which always seemed a little bit crazy because that doesn't generally happen. He just seems a little off in like the interviews, but I guess he's kind of always like that.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a factor at Portrush this year. I just got a weird feeling about it. So I am worried about him, much more worried about him than I am Scheffler.
Yeah. That kind of feels like the one major he hasn't really figured out yet.
Yeah. And I was getting a lot of messages this weekend. He was like, J Day 100 at the Open. And I know there's always, like last year we had Rose and Horschel at the U.S. Open. We had Scott. There's always an old guy in contention. Rose at the Masters, at the Open. Anything on Jay Day possibly? I know he's not in his 40s yet. He's still only 37, but I mean 100-1.
Yeah, I don't hate that. He's playing pretty well. I mean, it feels like he should have won something this year. He's been pretty solid all year. He's had a couple good runs at tournaments. He missed a cut, I think, in 2019 at
Did he?
Portrush, but it's not the end of the world.
He was 13th last year at the Open, and I think he was second in 2023. Yeah, second in 2023. Where was that? 23.
That
Liverpool. That was the Brian Harman. Yeah.
Yeah. Try to forget about that one.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So I don't know. Any other Portrush thoughts? I mean, did you bet Rahm and Vic? Oh, you bet Vic, obviously.
I bet Vic. I unfortunately don't have Rahm, and now his number's low. But I still think that. I mean, he hit it so well too at the U.S. Open. Rahm, he couldn't make any putts.
Yeah.
It feels like he's close. I'm going to try to find something on him. I'm intrigued by Brooks. He's starting to show some life. He's starting to sound a little better in like the interviews. He's a little more confident, it seems like. I think you had the insight. Ricky Elliott? That's like his hometown.
That's his caddies. That's Ricky Elliott's home course, or
yeah, so
the course he grew up on, I believe.
So I mean,
Brooks played awesome in 2019. He got paired with JB Holmes.
JB Holmes, yeah, I remember that.
Fucked him. So yeah, I'm looking. Actually, I bet a piece at 50 over the weekend on him.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. I think I saw him at 40 when I checked earlier on FanDuel, but I might want to kind of hop on that sooner rather than later, depending on what he does. If he like wins one or finishes well on Liv, I think that number's going to drop.
Yeah. Cam Young will win his first major at Portrush. I don't know if I believe that. I hope he wins this week though. All right, let's get into anything else on the Travelers before we get into the Rocket.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So for the 7th consecutive year, the PGA Tour heads to Detroit Golf Club. It's no longer the Rocket Mortgage Classic. It's just the Rocket Classic. Is Rocket Mortgage no longer the name of the company, I'm assuming?
I guess not. It's kind of odd. Yeah.
So Donald Ross design, Detroit Golf Club features 7,370-yard par 72 layout. Course is extremely flat throughout, bent grass greens. Typically low scoring affair. I mean, you're looking at Nate Lashley first year, won at minus 25 in 2019. I think he won by 6 or 7 shots. Bryson the following year, minus 23. That was the Matt Wolff year, right?
Yeah, I actually had Wolff in that one, and I think he was leading going into the final round by like.
Morikawa was involved too, right?
Yeah, sounds right. I remember I had Wolff, and it was like one of those things where within the first like 5 holes, he went from like leading to just he had no chance to win.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy says bent Poa mix. I mean, possibly bent Poa mix. Poa creeps into all these grasses a lot. So 2021, we had Cam Davis minus 18. That was a killer for me. Playoff. There was 3-man playoff. Cam Davis, Neiman, and Troy Merritt. I was on Troy Merritt and Neiman.
Wow.
Merritt
I had Neiman.
I was on Merritt too.
That's crazy. Yeah.
At 100. Cam Davis had no business winning that tournament. Like he hold out for eagle. I think whatever the par 5 is on the back, 17 maybe.
Yeah, I remember I was pretty pissed off by that one because I had Neiman too.
God,
and I was
that was
feeling
brutal.
good about it.
Neiman doesn't make a bogey the entire tournament, right? Until the playoff hole.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
But he just and he was the leader going into the round, but he just didn't make enough birdies on Sunday. So 2022, we had Finau. I think he beat Pendrith. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And 2023 was Ricky Fowler, another heartbreaker. It was a 3-man playoff. I felt like I was the only one in the world not on Ricky at the time. I think I just scoffed at the number. I think it was like 16 or 18 to 1. I was on Hadwin. I think Morikawa was in that playoff too. But I mean, that was a cool scene. I mean, Ricky finally got. It was after Ricky was playing like shit, kind of like he is now. And then he finally got back in the winner's circle. And then last year, Cam Davis wins again over Akshay. Who else was involved in that one? Minwoo. I had Minwoo Lee. He finished second as well. Dave Thompson too. Akshay was leading for majority of that tournament. But yeah, typical PGA Birdie Fest, Don Ross design, key stats, looking off the tee. A lot of it's been bombers and putters, I think, for this event. Always look at approach every week. Par 5 scoring with 4 par 5s. Need that. And birdie or better. I mean, you're going to have to make a shit ton of birdies this week.
Yeah, what do you think the winning score is going to be?
I haven't seen the weather. Have you seen any weather?
I haven't, but I know. I mean, if it's kind of receptive out there, I imagine it's going to be what, like 23, 24?
Yeah, I'm going to say minus 24.
Yeah.
This is a good question here. Am I the only one who actually likes this course and tournament? I actually like this course and tournament. I'm not a big Birdie Fest guy, but I don't mind this one. And I like 3M too. And I think it's in the perfect. These tournaments are in the perfect spot of the schedule. Like in between majors. I mean, this is what should be. It shouldn't be like a signature event after a major. Like we should be getting these shit events. This is what we need.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, you get to have a couple of these, and then you go over with the Scottish and the Open, and it's kind of it's a nice spot for it. I like some of these events too because you don't get. I mean, the field's actually okay this week, but you kind of get a chance to hit potentially some longer shots in events like these when you don't have all the top names playing.
Yeah. Some other Don Ross designs. I know, obviously, Wyndham, Sedgefield. That's Don Ross. What are the other? You know any of the other Don Ross designs on tour? But I know Eastlake is, right?
Yeah, Eastlake. Yeah, and I think. I mean, it's not a typical tour sport, but I think Oak Hill was. Is that right?
I don't.
Might be wrong about that.
Not sure. One of the recent majors we played was. I know that. I don't know if it was Oak Hill or not. Could be. I don't know. Why am I drawing a? Yeah, I don't think it was Oak Hill. Maybe though. Okay. Yeah, I like this tournament. I've always enjoyed this. I feel like we always have a chance to hit this tournament. I feel like you kind of know what you're getting. Know what you're getting, right?
Yeah.
So, anything else on the course?
No, I'm kind of on the same page. I mean, it seems like there's, sort of, I think fairway percentage is pretty high here. I think it's wider fairways. So a lot of guys are just pulling driver, and then it kind of turns into a bit of a putting contest, which is fine. But you got to make a lot of birdies. So
there we go. Ronamink, another Don Ross. Obviously, Pinehurst, number 2, Don Ross. That was the major I was thinking about. Plainfield, Don Ross. Plainfield is where Bryson won, I believe. Aronimick is where Keegan won. So all right, let's get into the odds here. Morikawa 12 to 1. He was a very popular bet last week at 20 to 1. I mean, the thing with Morikawa, everybody says these courses are perfect for him because they're shorter and it's a wedge in his hand. He never plays well at those type of courses. Like, never plays well at Harbor Town, the Players. He never plays great at River Highlands. So I didn't really understand that last week. And everybody, he was a very popular bet for a 20 to 1 guy who hasn't won anything in like 500-600 days.
Yeah, it seems like people love him. And just, I mean, people take him all the time. Obviously, he had that stretch where he racked up 2 majors in a pretty close period of time. But like you said, I mean, he hasn't really won a ton lately. So especially this week, I mean, at his odds, that would be tough for me to take.
So yeah, no interest in Morikawa. This guy's saying Oak Hill is a Don Ross course, so I stand corrected. You had no interest in Morikawa. Could you see
No,
him there?
and I also don't think his putter's been pretty bad. I mean, for a course that you're gonna have to make, a shit ton of birdies. I don't know that he's gonna make enough putts here.
Yeah, I mean, he just distinguishes himself on courses where it's hard to hit the fairway, which is not here, and longer irons.
Yeah,
Not wedge fest. Last week he lost 3 on approach. I know this is a longer course, but it favors more bombers. And I know he was in a playoff that one year, but that's more of a talent thing. So I'm not going to take a risk on a 12-1 Morikawa this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of like him better on the tougher courses where he's hitting the fairway and he's like a good iron player where he's not getting into a ton of trouble when other guys are. This isn't really the format where I would hop on him. Not to say he can't win, but I'm not really interested.
Okay, and then you get 3 guys here right after him. Cantlay at 16, Keegan at 18, and Ben Griffin at 22. I mean, Keegan, not great history here. Ben Griffin, that's not for me at 22-1. Although he continues to play well, so it wouldn't shock me if he's around. But I'll pass on that. Call me crazy, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Cantlay involved this week at all.
Yeah, it feels like I guess he hasn't been great, but
I'm not looking to bet it.
Yeah. I could see him in the mix.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he was in the mix at all. So, but I'm not going there at 16. He played here once and he was second. A lot of the guys are on the course today. I was surprised. I saw Cantlay, Morikawa. They're all on the course early today.
Yeah, it feels kind of interesting.
So
I'm going to skip this section as well.
Okay. Yeah, guys, don't worry. I won't bet Cantlay. No Cantlay. I resisted last week. I got a text from the old host here saying, you got to bet Cantlay. It's tradition every year at the Travelers. Well, guess what? I didn't do it. And my response was tradition for him to come T11th every year. And he came 12th. So, all right, next range. We got Cam Young, 28-1. I'm just going to stop there. I don't see how Cam Young doesn't win this week. I'm dead serious.
I'm taking him with you.
This is just, I'm contemplating. I texted Matt. I was like, I might single bullet Cam Young this week because I just think he's going to win.
Yeah, it feels like a good spot for him. Last week, I mean, it seemed like it was kind of like a fine, letdown spot after coming top 5 of the U.S. Open.
So I bet him last week. It was a force bet. I knew it was a force bet the whole time, but everybody was betting him, and I was like 50-1, whatever. He shot 59 here, but I'm not going to hold anything against a poor Travelers performance against him. Of course, he shouldn't be contending at. I mean, it takes his best asset out of his hand.
Yeah. No, this feels like a good spot for him. He's obviously played really well here. He was second and a sixth.
Second and sixth. Yep. 2 starts. It's the only 2 starts he's had here. And the other thing, he's a bomber, but this guy is a great putter now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. He's turned into like a elite putter. It's kind of crazy.
It's nuts. Would you ever have thought Cameron Young is it?
No. Well, that was like the weakness in his game for a while.
So I was going in. Yeah, I mean, look at these putting stats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight weeks. So last week he gained 3.4, U.S. Open 8, Canadian Open 5th. I do think the Canadian Open this year is a good comp for this tournament. Bomber putter. I think you saw the whole leaderboard was bomber putter. Burns, Fox, Young, McCarty. So he gained 5 at Canadian. Gained minimal at Memorial and PGA Championship, 5.7 at Truist. The thing about the Truist, Canadian, and the U.S. Open, they're all bent mix, right?
Yeah.
And last week bent mix, and those were his best weeks.
Yeah, I like him. I think what do you think about? I think I'm right on this. This will be his 5th straight week playing.
Didn't even factor that in.
Does that concern you at all or no?
Not really. I don't think. I guess it should though. After I bet Spieth last week, I think it was like 7th straight event.
I guess he kind of had like the letdown last week. It was kind of like probably didn't have too much stress over the weekend. He kind of
I was going in expecting a 20 on Cam Young.
Yeah, I was surprised by the number.
So I mean, I'll gladly bet a 30.
Yeah,
so that's where I'm starting. 30 to 1 Cam Young.
I'm on the same page.
Boom, love it. All right, next range in the 30s. Hideki, 30. Do think that's a great number on Hideki. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Harry Hall, Siwoo, both 30. Keith Mitchell, 35. Dave Thompson down to 35. Why is Harry Hall 30?
I'm almost like so thrown off by it that I'm like considering taking it. It doesn't make much sense. I mean, he's a really good putter, I guess. So if it's coming down to like a putting contest, he could just get hot on the green. He's playing well. I mean, I guess he's got 2 top 10s in his last 3, but it does kind of feel crazy for him at that number.
Does he have any history here?
I think he came like 31st or something last year.
And miscut. Yeah, I would never bet Harry Hall at 50 to 1. Never mind 30 to 1. So
I think the books are onto something.
I don't know. It's like they always price Harry Hall and Keith Mitchell. Like Keith Mitchell 35. Why is he always just automatically 35 to 1?
I know, and he actually. I mean, he's obviously hitting it well, but he hasn't putted well here at all, Mitchell.
Yep. All right. Hideki was great Sunday. Bent course. It's a good number in my opinion.
It is a good number. Yeah.
Anything there? Like I would much rather bet Hideki than Cantlay.
Well, it's crazy too. If you look at all the guys in this range, I mean, he's way better than all of them.
You could make an argument. Yeah, no, actually, I will make the argument. Hideki's the best golfer in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe
it's 2 guys. It's him and Colin.
Yeah.
If I'm going toe to toe, I'm taking Hideki over Colin, though, in my opinion.
How's Hideki? How's he been?
Not good, but like he does his typical Hideki thing. We'll have spike rounds.
Has he played well here? Has he played?
He first year 13th, 21st in 2020. Then he withdrew in 2021. He miscut 23. You kind of with Hideki, you kind of gotta like really feel the vibes on it. That's the one problem. So I don't. Honestly,
I could be talked into it though. I mean, he's just in terms of value. I think it's
the best value on the board.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's close. Besides,
I mean, to your point, am I going to not bet Hideki and take Harry Hall?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try to talk myself into a bunch of these scrubs way down the board. When Hideki clearly has a better chance to win. So I don't know if I'm going to go there because, I mean, Hideki recently, I mean, his irons were fire at U.S. Open 7.1. He doesn't hit it great off the tee anymore. He's just in that mix where he's 30th every week.
Yeah.
He chips in a lot. I don't know. But this is how he won at Genesis. He wasn't great at all. And then boom.
Yeah, I was on Cantlay when he won that.
And this is how I hit him last year at St. Jude. Coming into St. Jude, he was 23rd, miscut 66th.
So do we just take it on the value?
You just never know with Hideki. Like,
yeah,
he's just a wild card.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to be making far more disgusting bets than that. So
yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I can get there, but Dave Thompson interest you at all? I wouldn't bet at 35, but 45.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Second last year, showing some life. Played well Sunday.
Yeah,
5.6
I can see
approach
it.
last week.
There's a few guys in this range that I'm like considering, but I'm not dying to bet any of them.
Who do you like in this range? Actually, I'll list some guys at 40. You got Clanton, Clark, Finau, Ricky, Gracerman, all 40. Any of those guys?
I thought about Gracerman a little bit, but that's another one. It's like I'm not really.
So
I'm
I don't
not
love the
dying to bet
Grace.
a guy that never won.
I don't love the Gracerman number, but like this is a perfect setup.
Yeah,
If you think about it, like he should have won Sedgefield, Don
Yeah.
Ross design, similar distance course. I mean, I know it's shorter, but it's par 70. And he's starting to show life. Like he's starting to play better. Where like in like March and April, everything was just red. Now everything's mostly green besides the putter.
and he's historically like a good putter.
Bomber putter.
Yeah, so if he can get that putter to kind of flip back around, I don't hate him. It's just kind of it's tough because he hasn't.
The number stinks.
Yeah, but I guess we kind of have to almost look past the numbers on a lot of these guys because they're all going to be pretty bad.
Luke Clanton, I think that number stinks too.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he hasn't really. He's not playing that great.
He's playing.
People are gonna. I'm sure a lot of people will bet it. I mean, but
no interest for me. But he was playing. He played bad in the college event.
Yeah, he hasn't been. I think he was playing better in like when he was getting those exemptions, kind of in like October and into November. He came close a few times, but he just doesn't really seem like he's on his game right now.
So Wyndham, Finau.
Well, that next range is kind of like you get the bigger names who just aren't playing that well. He's not playing well, but it kind of fits Wyndham's game a little bit, right? I mean,
he wasn't terrible last week.
No. Where do you stand on Wyndham? Seems like everyone hates him.
In general, I've always hated him. Doesn't mean I can't bet him. Because I've bet him this year before, but 17th last week. I don't know. Kind of feels like a force.
He hasn't been too sharp.
History's not bad. 17th and an 8th.
I think it's a good fit for him.
Definitely is. I think I lean Gracerman over him, though, to be honest with you.
I probably would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just out on Finau.
Yeah, I think
I'm
Ricky. Finau. I mean, he just doesn't seem to have it right now.
Yeah. I don't really understand why Ricky's 40. But
I don't either.
I took a plunge on Ricky last week. Didn't work out so well. Hit a shank from the fairway on that.
I saw that. What do you call it? A Spanish fade?
Oh my god. All right. Next range, you get some guys here. Fitz 45, Akshay 45, Minwoo 45, Rasmus Højgaard 45. I was looking into Fitz a little bit.
I was just gonna say, what do you make of Fitz? Because it kind of seems like he's turning it around a little bit.
Yeah,
his irons have been better. He putted really well at the U.S. Open.
Jesus Christ, he put the shit out of it at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, so it seems like he's kind of turning it around a little bit.
So I went to him at Memorial after that good week at the PGA, and he wasn't great. He wasn't good, really. He finished 31st, but I don't know. He's definitely showing some things.
Yeah, in this field at this number.
I just don't know if is this a fit spot?
I wouldn't necessarily pit this one. I do think it's a good number though.
And he chased distance too, so I mean he's got some distance now.
Yeah.
I'm just up in the air with all these guys. Next guy I wrote down was I got no interest in Akshay. I don't know if
I don't either. Yeah.
Everybody always wants me to bet Akshay every week. It's not happening.
What about Min?
What about Minwoo, the biggest driver putter guy? I was on him here last year. I hit him at Houston, obviously another driver putter event. I'm not really sold on Minwoo, but
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, it's an interesting.
I think he got
number.
his win this year.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that I guess he hasn't really played well at all. His best start
been really bad since his win.
Since he won. I mean, he's only come to the top 50 twice. Yeah, I guess I'm probably out on him there.
So the next guy I was looking at was Benny, 66. Starting to show some things. I mean, I know he's not a putter, but one of the best drivers in the world. He's 14th last week. I feel like he turned a corner when he was playing like complete ass for at the beginning of the year. And now he's 6th at the Canadian Open, 14th at the Travelers. I'm circling around it.
Let me look up. What's he?
66.
Yeah, he did play well last week.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, 2 of his last 3 have been pretty good, and U.S. Open's the U.S. Open. Yeah. I guess it's going to depend on that putter. You think he can make enough putts to win?
Yeah, who knows? Probably not. But I mean, in the events he's contended at, he contended at. Well, he was involved at the Canadian, right?
Yeah, Canadian. He was 6th,
and he had like 3 feet right on 17 to tie the lead.
Yeah,
is that right?
That sounds right. I guess he came 13th here in 2019.
Yeah, that's the question with Benny. Can he make enough putts? I'm not sure. And the other guy I'm definitely betting is Grillo. I've been on Grillo lately. Had him for a top 20 at the U.S. Open. His approach numbers have been great. I don't love him for this course as much as the John Deere and the 3M, but I'm not going to miss out on Grillo 80-1 at 80-1. Bent is where he does his best work putting. I know he's not a great putter, but he has been putting better this year. And I'm just gonna keep riding. I'm not missing a Grillo. I think we're entering Grillo season.
I was considering him. Yeah, I gave him a look. He is playing pretty well. I was between him and actually Jaeger in this range.
Okay, give me Jaeger.
He's starting. So he was like, I guess he never really went through that rough of a stretch, but he's now hitting his irons better. I mean, it's been 5 straight. He gained on approach. The putter has been green. He was even at the U.S. Open, but he gained in the other 4 of his last 5. He hasn't really popped in any of them, but, I mean, he's at least won before. I think it's a pretty decent number. It looks like he came 5th here in 2022 and 9th in 2023. So he's got good history at this course too.
I bet him at all the driver putter courses.
He was
at Mexico.
75 on FanDuel at least. I don't know what he's at on DraftKings.
Yeah, that's a decent number. I didn't have him written down, but that's a good number. 70 on DraftKings right now.
So not bad. I was kind of leaning him in that range. I mean, he hasn't really. I guess the truest he came 7th, but other than that, he hasn't really come too close in anything. But it's been good here.
I'm going to put him on the short list. I'm not sure which direction I'm going here. Here's my question now. Thor.
Yeah. I'm going to do it.
You going to do it?
Are you going to do it? I saw a I think it was PGA Splits. Did you see that on
that guy lives in Minnesota.
Oh, does he?
Believe so.
He said something that Thor said that his wrist is feeling great, and
I was all ready to bet Thor at these events coming up.
Yeah, he said the wrist is feeling great. He's been working on like his aim point putting or something. Was the blurb that I saw, which is enough for me. I mean, it's a good number.
I just get worried about those wrist injuries.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess,
and I also think he's going to win the Barracuda.
I guess also to like, I don't know what to make of those kind of comments because I mean, what's he going to say? Like, my wrist still feels like shit.
Yeah, but he's there on a Monday, so
yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth taking a shot at it.
Yeah, 75-1. All right, who else you circling around? I mean, this guy says thoughts on Cam Champ. Yeah, I like Cam Champ a lot. I just don't know why he withdrew from the Corn Ferry event last week. Trying to get to the bottom of it. Anybody knows why. But yeah, Cam Champ 110, I think is a good bet. You know, I'm a big Cam Champ guy. Guy's a winner. When he gets in contention, he can definitely win. Hit him at the 3M at 100-1. And he's won multiple events, so great value there.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Are we just opening it up now for anything?
Yeah, open it up.
I'm gonna go with McCarty.
Fucking love McCarty, man.
Yeah, 120. I see on FanDuel. He got the win. I mean, in I guess it was November, early November, or late October, whatever it was, at a Birdie Fest. It was -23. Played really well in Canada. He's a good putter. I mean, I think
he's in Utah. Played that.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit here. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is right up his alley. Good number, and he's proven he can win.
Yeah, I got him jotted down. 120. I'll throw another one. Local Minnesota guy from via South Africa, EVR. Went to the University of Minnesota. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling he's gonna play well. He only plays well like every 6 events, and he's kind of due since the CJ Cup, where he basically won the tournament if you just don't count Scotty. I mean, he got to 23 under. Another course that is driver heavy, but since then hasn't been bad, hasn't been great, but I don't know. I think we're in the area and at a good course for him. I'm going to take a flyer on EVR.
I don't hate it. I mean, these are the kind of events that he kind of pops up at.
Yeah,
he hasn't hit his irons that well lately, but I mean, he came 6th here last year. I think I saw because I was peeking at him earlier.
6th last year, yeah.
But he's another guy that sort of just pops. I mean, even before he came 2nd at the CJ Cup, to your point, he was cut, 60-second cut.
Yeah.
So he kind of just pops up at these events and these birdie fests and plays well.
He gets hot with a putter too. Like last year, looking at the Rocket last year, he lost on approach last year.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, I like EVR. He won for me in Mexico whenever that was.
Oh, were you on that?
Years ago? Yeah, it was he was 100-1 or something. He had a huge Sunday where he was just making everything.
Yeah, I remember that. That was before his buddy passed away, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right, who else you got?
I don't have anything else written down here. There's a few other names that I kind of looked at.
Potgieter?
I was thinking about him and kind of Eckroat were two that stood out to me a little bit. Eckroat's been playing like shit, but he's won a couple times on tour, so it's kind of nuts that he's 150-1 in this field, but he hasn't really shown anything. Potgieter, I mean, it could be a decent spot for him. What's he been up to?
He changed irons, and he had his best iron week of the year at Colonial.
6. Yeah.
I haven't gone back since Mexico.
That was
actually, I did go back 1 week, and I think he shot a 75 round 1, but round 2 he was great. I forget the event, but
Yeah, I guess he was pretty in between Mexico and the Charles Schwab. He was pretty bad, but is there any reason he hasn't played in the past month?
I couldn't get in Memorial, couldn't get in Travelers, didn't get U.S. Open.
Yeah, that kind of sucks for these guys. Like,
yeah. The only event he could have played was, I don't know. Couldn't get in Truist, obviously. That was after. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I guess he just wasn't qualified for any of them.
They gave his spot to Brian Campbell in all these events. I'll never get over that one.
That was insane.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling puck either, but I guess maybe. What about Chris Kirk?
Yeah, I actually thought about him because he played well at the U.S. Open. He was all right.
Yes.
Is that right? Something recently. He was good. He was pretty good.
I think it was the U.S. Open.
Yeah, he was 12th at the U.S. Open. He's starting to hit his irons well. He just was. It looks like between the Masters and the U.S. Open, he just was horrible putting. But he's hitting it good on approach. He gained 0.1.
Feels like a Don Ross guy.
Yeah, I don't hate. What's his number?
80?
80? Yeah, that's not terrible. I could see him popping up here. Has he played well here before?
Chris.
Oh, yeah. Well, looks like 44th last year, but then 14th.
Made the cut every year, yeah.
17th, 2022.
Yeah, decent.
12th. Yeah, he's usually in the top 20. Yeah, it's not a bad thought.
So, is there anybody else you want to throw out there? Before I recap this?
No, I think I've.
All right, Cam Young's winning. So that's all you really need. We got Cam Young at 30. I haven't crossed off Hideki yet. Really looking strongly into. Oh, speaking, this guy says Snedeker. Hadwin is 200-1.
Yeah, that is kind of nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't going in this thinking I was going to bet Hadwin, but he's usually like 50-1 here, and his history is just out of this world.
Yeah, I guess he's
second and a fourth. I mean,
pretty
he just
bad, but
puts the lights out.
Yeah,
he's not really a good golfer anymore. But
yeah, but I mean, at that number, why the hell not?
Yeah. So there's that. Looking strongly into Grayserman, Fitz, Benny. Don't know if I'm going to get there on any of them, and Hideki. So I don't know if I really want to heavily invest this week.
Well, yeah, the double tournaments are killer too.
The double tournaments are killer. Yeah. Definitely betting Grillo. I'll look into Jaeger. I guess I got to bet Thor. I've been saying wait till we get to the Rocket with Thor for 2 months. So I guess I got to bet Thor. I'm gonna bet Grillo. Looking into Champ. Someone gives me some information on why he withdrew. I'd love to know that. And looking into EVR. And I like the McCarty call.
Yeah. Yep.
The other one I was looking at was way down the board. John Pack. 600-1.
That is kind of nuts.
You know how he was contending in
yeah, he just popped at what tournament was that?
Colonial. He was like going into the weekend. He was one of the leaders.
Yeah,
After that, he gained 8.1 at Canada.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I just pulled up his page. I mean, he hit his irons well at the Charles Schwab too.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the course for him, but 600-1. That's kind of crazy in my opinion.
It is kind of nuts.
I don't know. Okay, and you are for this tournament before we get to Liv?
Wait, what was that?
Who are you gonna?
Cam. I'm gonna take Cam. Thinking about Hideki and Fitz and Grayson, and probably end up on 1 to 2 of them. I think I'm gonna take Jaeger, Thor, and McCarty.
Okay, love it. All right, so let's get into Liv Dallas. We're at Merido, which is Bryson's course, right?
Yeah.
Is it his home course or one of them?
It's his hometown for sure. I think he knows the course pretty well. I don't know if it's his home course or not, but
so quick preview of it. Link style layout. It was redesigned in 2017 by Steve Smyers, par 72. That's 7,438 yards. Modern link style course, blending traditional elements like open fairways and firm, fast conditions with unique features tailored to elite play. This is coming straight off the Liv site.
Yeah.
Bryson describes it as fantastic link style movable golf course with rolling, moving greens, sloping greens. So you got wide fairways, rough as penal, I guess, but it seems like it's going to favor bombers.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. I mean, I looked at a few pictures of the course. I mean, it seems like if you miss real wide, you're in some trouble, but it's kind of some runoffs around the green, but it seems like there's some length to it. So I'm leaning kind of bombers as well.
All right. So, I mean, you're one of the bigger Liv guys that I know. It's tough to win these events with these three guys at the top, man.
Yeah, we've been getting this year. It's been tough. I mean, Neiman wins every other event. It's been a tough year, but
the only way to really course for Ortiz and Munoz, or they play college golf at this course.
Yeah, and I mean, what do you make of Ortiz coming off that good performance at the U.S. Open? You think it's like going to be kind of a letdown spot, or he rides momentum?
Yeah, and his numbers just shit.
Yeah,
16-1.
Yeah, it's funny because actually before the U.S. Open, we had talked about how this would be a pretty interesting spot for him because he was starting to play better.
Guy loves Texas. I mean, he won Houston last year,
and he won Houston Open, right, against DJ. Yeah.
It's just they're giving you shit. He ruined it at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, it's these events are. I mean, they're tough to bet because obviously, I mean, this week we have 4 guys under 10. Which is pretty. I mean, they're pretty unbettable. Then we talked about Ortiz, and so I guess I'm looking probably more in like the 20 to 50 range.
All right, so you're passing on the top. I'm not going to include Hatton because I don't think he's as good as those guys, but the top 3.
I'm gonna pass on the top 3. I don't know what else to do. It seems like we're just playing with fire. I mean, Rahm's starting to play better. This is like Bryson's home course. Neiman wins all the time.
I mean, Neiman can't win again. If he wins again after that shit U.S. Open performance, that's just gonna.
Yeah, it is funny because I mean, I keep betting him at the majors. He doesn't do shit, and then every Liv event he freaking wins when I don't take him.
All right, so how about Mr. Texas Patrick Reed, 20-1? Does that interest you at all? I know he's not a bomber, but
yeah, he's
due for a win.
He is due for a win. I feel like he's been due for a freaking while. I don't know if this is a week for him though.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I know you like
good approach numbers the last 2 weeks though, U.S. Open included.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna win one of these Liv events sooner or later.
You're looking at 4.5 at Virginia, and you're looking at close to 5 at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, and even I mean, I guess he was not great in like Korea, but the last 2 events before that too in Mexico City, and then you go back to the Masters. But he's been hitting his irons pretty well this year.
Yeah. I don't know. Who else you got? You doing the Brooks thing?
I'm considering it. He's showing life. What do you make of him? I mean, do you think he's like? I feel like with him, I mean, you kind of see like we saw a little bit of a flash. Do you think that kind of sparks him and he starts to?
I hope so.
To go on a little run here.
All year, he hadn't hit the ball that bad.
No, I mean the problem with him is the putter. And that's kind of been
Are we worried about this?
for a while now.
We worried about the Panthers winning the cup?
Yeah, I saw him and DJ were both out there.
Yeah,
partying.
DJ was with the team afterwards.
Saw that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little. It's tough to say with this course. I mean, if it's going to be a little bit of a tougher course, maybe it's not going to be like a birdie fest where he has to make every putt. But I'm starting to lose a little confidence in his putter.
It's bad.
It's been
bad.
like 2 years of kind of shit.
Matt wants me to bet Munoz. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's going to make me bet Munoz.
He's yeah, I mean, it feels weird taking him like over Brooks when they're at like the same number, but I mean, he's hitting it really well.
I'd probably bet both of them.
This is what you said it's his college course?
Yeah, him and Ortiz. They played together, same team. He thinks Munoz is going to win this week. And he's flying to Dallas tonight just for the show update. We'll probably go live with him Wednesday or Thursday. I mean, last time he was on site, he convinced me to bet Peters. He was like, I've been on the range, and Peters is striking the ball better than everybody. And, I mean, Peters had his best finish. He almost backdoored that win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm gonna try to ride that, but doesn't mean I won't be tempted to bet anything before that.
Yeah, I'm considering Brooks. If we go down a little bit, I'm gonna take Gooch.
Yes, I'm taking Gooch too.
He seems like he's starting to turn it around a little bit. Last week there was a little regression, I guess, in the irons, but he hadn't played for like a month. He's finally putting well again.
He was really bad at his first round, right? The rest.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Do you think Liv should go to 72 holes?
Yeah, I think that
it would make the tournament so much better, man.
I know, and I think that's kind of a big, kind of one of the reasons they're not getting any kind of ranking points.
Yeah,
I actually asked when the first year, I asked Answer if he would be like, if he thought guys would be willing to go to 72 holes if they thought that was going to be like a benefit to them getting world ranking points, and he was like, yeah, I think no one would have a problem with that. So I don't know why they haven't kind of either thought about it or whether that doesn't have any impact on it or not, but
right.
I think they should. I mean,
yeah, I agree. You like him this week?
Who's that?
A lot of Latinos love Texas, obviously. So
yeah, he's a Texas guy. I think he might be a little short for this course, though.
Yeah, hasn't been great either.
No, he hasn't. It's been a down year for him.
What about all right, I've been on DJ forever. I don't know.
I know. I think I'm going to take Gooch, and I think. What do you think about Pooch?
Wasn't he hurt?
He withdrew last tournament. He's on the odds list. Is he not playing again?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I see him at 28, but
so that's something I'm interested in checking out because
you're in PA. You can bet Liv legally.
I can, yeah.
Mass doesn't put Liv odds.
Yeah, it's weird. The first year or two they had Liv, they weren't available in PA, and then I guess they got the rights, which is nice because I was having to do it on like my street book.
Yeah, I don't know about Pooch.
It could be an interesting fit for him if he's healthy.
Could be a great fit. I just have no clue. That could be one, and we wait and see what Matt says.
If he gives us some insight that he's looking healthy, could be interesting. Do you have anyone else you're eyeing?
I don't want to go too far down here. What about Lucas Herbert? Is he just he got to his peak and now he's coming back down type deal?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's interesting. I guess he didn't play well in Virginia, but in second in Mexico City, he won in May over in Japan.
Yeah.
I guess he's only played once since May 11th, but
yeah. So I don't know if I like him. Sergio's a good number. Just he's kind of falling off.
yeah, I don't know what happened. He was playing
Really
well.
disappointed. Really disappointed with that.
Yeah, me too. Because he was playing really well to start the year, and he's
I
kind of
wanted
been
him on the
like
Ryder Cup.
talking like a big game too. Like, well, he was before. Like, I don't want them to pick me for the Ryder Cup if I'm not deserving. This, and that. But he's played like shit since.
How about Bubba?
He's playing better actually.
T4 in Virginia.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's had a little bit of a resurgence. I mean, he was good in Mexico too. He was top 10.
Yeah.
He's having a pretty good year. He hit his irons well last week, but he's putting really good. It's funny too because actually it seems like it'd be a pretty decent course for Sergio if he was playing well, but
yeah, it's just
playing like shit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Munoz, Gooch.
I'm gonna take Gooch. I'm gonna see. I'm considering Brooks, but I keep freaking taking him in these live events. And
Leishman can't win again, right?
What's that? Leishman. I know. I don't think he's got 2 in him this year.
Yeah.
Any
interest in DJ?
I don't know. He's burned me a lot this year.
So much. I've gotten plenty of DJ money over the years, though. But
yeah, I mean,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
He was T10 in Virginia. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could debate what people.
He always has the one bad round, and you can't have a bad round on Liv.
Yeah, that's the killer. And he's actually had a few rounds where he's going like real low. I mean, even when we took him in Miami, it was like he had like 2 bad holes in the first 2 rounds, and it took him out of it.
Yeah,
crazy. I think I'm gonna do Paul Casey this week.
Casey, huh?
I see a 50 on him. He's starting to hit his irons better. 2 of his last 3, he's been good. He was good off the tee last time he played. I was taking him last year a lot because he was hitting it well, and he just never won any of them. He kept coming in the top 10 and not winning. But
can he win? You know he's like 48.
He is old. And he never really won that much, period.
But it's crazy to think that he's 48.
It is kind of nuts, yeah. He doesn't look that old.
No. He's always been in good shape.
Yeah. Can he win? I don't know.
Decent number. Has he ever won in Texas?
I don't know the answer to that.
We need Texas guys. I'm telling you. Let's see what he did last year.
Looks like he was 9th in Houston last year.
Did they play this course? Was this the course for the team event?
Yeah, which makes it kind of tough because there's no like.
Well, his team won though, right?
I think that was 2 years ago, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think it was like the
Ripper one.
Yeah, Ripper one. Oh, it looks like he. It's a long time ago, but it looks like Paul Casey won the Houston Open back in 2009.
Wow, there we go.
Got a little Texas history. I don't know if he's kind of, if we still count it. That was like 16 years ago, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't go too far down the board at all. That Casey would be as far as I'd go.
Yeah, that's the thing with these are. It's tough because I don't think. I mean, in the first couple of years to Liv, like you were getting some of those long shots, like the Danny Lee and there's someone else kind of random that won. But yeah, Steele. But I don't know, man. The guys at the top are just too good. I don't think anyone past like 50 or 60 really has much of a shot.
Yeah, and they all kind of had their shot last in Virginia, and snagged it.
What about? I mean, I guess Wolf's a bomber, but he withdrew last tournament. I don't know if he's healthy or not.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. I'm shocked he hasn't won yet. I just don't know if he gives a fuck.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem like he does.
Nah,
Seems like he'd rather just smoke weed and fuck off, to be honest with you. That's just the vibe I get from Wolf. I don't know.
Yeah, he's another one.
He's a mental midget.
Yeah, yeah. He'll randomly play.
Talent-wise, he's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, he randomly plays decent at one of these events. Like, he was sixth, I think, in Korea. But then he'll finish like dead last the next week.
Yeah, maybe Matt sees something on the range.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for his kind of on the course report.
Yeah.
It's nice that he's got the inside scoop there.
Yeah, one good thing. With that Saudi money. All right. Anything else for either tournament?
No, I think still kind of finalizing some things on the Liv, but definitely I'm going to do Gooch and Casey, and then maybe Brooks, but maybe I could be convincing the Munoz too. I don't know.
Yeah, we got time on Liv. I'm going to kind of deep dive some stuff.
The one thing that's nice about Liv is like if I'm having a shit start to the PGA, I still kind of have that hope going into like Friday with Liv. No one started yet.
Have you had much success on Liv this year?
Well, no, because Neiman keeps freaking winning. So no. Hopefully we get some luck this week.
I think I've hit like two Liv winners in its existence. I've bet pretty much every event.
I was doing all right last year. I started off pretty well. This year's been tough though. I mean, Neiman's won 4 times. Then we got that like random. I mean, Moronk won the first event. He's going off at like 80-1 now. It's kind of like a random winner.
Yeah, Neiman killed me in Singapore. Had Brooks there.
I had Brooks there too. Yeah, and then I think Bryson won one in Korea. So avoiding the top of the board's kind of been the wrong way to go. 5 of the first 8, which sucks.
Yeah, and you got to think Rahm's going to win one of these.
That's the scary part. He's definitely due for a win.
I don't know if he's a Texas guy, but
yeah, I feel like he might win when they head like over to the UK.
Yeah, I mean he won the UK event last year, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
He'll win that or Valderrama.
Yeah. Valderrama Sergio won last year, right?
Yeah, that killed me. Were you on that one?
No, and I freaking took him so many other times.
Oh man, that was a killer. I took Rahm just because
I did too. Yeah, because they were both at like kind of shit odds anyway. I'm like, I'm just gonna take
shit odds.
I'm gonna take the better 2 players that burn me.
Yeah, and then Rahm wins the following week in London. So, all right, Matt Miller, appreciate your time. Thanks for jumping on. We'll probably have you on a couple more times, especially during these Live weeks. But anything you want to plug or anything?
No, I'll have my article out. Rotoballer. Probably follow me on Twitter or check out my Twitter page. I'll probably be up tomorrow at some point. Matty Mills 85. Other than that, I appreciate you having me on. Had a fun time, and hopefully we get to do it again soon.
All right, Cam Young week. We're jumping in. Cam Young. All right, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.